The midday sun beat down on Dustbowl Gulch, baking the wooden buildings and turning the main street into a shimmering mirage. A hush fell over the crowd gathered before the saloon, the air thick with anticipation and the smell of sweat and dust. Jebediah Stone, a man whose squint lines spoke of years spent under the unforgiving desert sun, stood opposite his nemesis, Bart Blackwood. Black Bart, with his slick back hair and a sneer that could curdle milk, adjusted his pearl-handled revolver. The cause of their duel? A woman. Naturally, a woman named Lily Bell, whose laughter was as sweet as the desert wind after a rare rain. Both men had courted her, but Lily Bell, ever elusive, had played them both. Now, their pride stood between them, as lethal as any six-shooter. The town marshal, a weary-looking man named Silas, stepped forward. Gentlemen, his voice carried faintly above the murmur of the crowd. Are there any last words? Black Bart smirked. Tell Lily Bell I tried, he said, his voice a low growl. Jebediah, however, remained stoic. He spat on the dusty ground, the only sign of his tension. Silas raised his hand. On the count of three, the crowd held its breath. 1, 2. The tension was a tangible thing, a thick rope choking the town. 3. Guns roared. The sounds were deafening, shattering the momentary silence. Dust erupted, obscuring the two men. When the dust settled, Jebediah stood, his gun still smoking, a slight tremor in his hand. Black Bart lay sprawled on the ground, a single crimson stain blossoming on his shirt. A collective gasp rose from the crowd. Silas approached Jebediah, his face etched with grim acceptance. It's over, Stone, he said, his voice low. Jebediah nodded, his eyes fixed on the body of his fallen rival. The victory felt hollow. The sun continued its relentless assault, the heat reflecting off the dusty street. Lily Bell watched from the saloon's porch, her face unreadable. As the crowd dispersed, muttering and shaking their heads, Jebediah knew this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with regret and the unspoken questions that lingered in the silence left by the gunsmoke. The legend of the duel would live on, a dark stain on the history of Dustbowl Gulch, a reminder of pride, loss, and a woman whose heart remained as elusive as the desert wind.